What's up, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Sports on a Monday. Going to have a fun show, an interesting show. I just told everybody in the YouTube chat to buckle up and like the show because this one is going to be a ride, Jack. I accidentally messed up your name there on the graphics, so I'll have to fix that real quick. I'm so excited and jacked up for this that I made a mistake when it comes to the show graphics. I'll get that adjusted real quick, but we are going to discuss something that SI put out there about the Tennessee Titans that might be the newest dumb take of the Titans and Will Levis that I've found recently. Every once in a while, you're like, oh, this is the dumbest thing I've seen somebody say about the Titans. And then it continues to get one-upped by something dumber. And that's exactly what we have here today. So we're going to have a fun show talking all about this tone-deaf take about Will Levis and the Titans' future and what I think more about it, and obviously how Jack's going to feel about it, what you guys think about this, and just how stupid can one take actually be when it comes to an NFL team and showing everybody, just publishing that shows the world that you have no idea what the hell you're talking about. So we're going to discuss this. It's going to be a fun show, as I've already kicked it off here with a little bit of hate this morning. So, Jack, welcome in as I fix the graphic. There we go. Now we're back here live on this Monday. And then it's the age game to wrap up the Monday. Zach is off this week from the show, working on some other things around the business. But so, Jack, it's you and I for the age game today. I will be the age game master, and you will be in my seat where you try to guess correctly, and we'll see if you can get on the leaderboard. But what's up? Well, welcome in.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy Monday to everybody in the chat. Austin, I can tell you're already fired up. I am as well. So, guys, as you roll in here, don't forget to drop a like on the show. Like the show. It helps us, gain traction, reach new audience. All the good things that help us grow the show. We need you guys to like the show. If you're watching on Facebook, share the show. Sharing is caring. Share it to your Facebook groups. I know all you guys are in there talking about Titans every single day. I'm in there with y'all. I see you guys posting. So let's share the show into your Titans Facebook groups. If you're watching on YouTube, tap that bell icon at the top of your screen so you get an update every time A to Z Sports goes live or posts any content to their YouTube channel. You don't want to miss out on it, guys. There's already, content's already hard to come by in the offseason. So anytime that A to Z Sports posts to the YouTube channel, you want to get an update, turn your notifications on by tapping the bell icon at the top of your screen. Finally, if you're watching on Twitch, text that Twitch link around to your Titans text groups. We're all trying to kill an hour today. If you're getting ready for work, if you're already at work and you're tuning in from work, thank you for watching. Let's go ahead and text that Twitch link around to your Titans text groups, any family members or friends that you know are Titans fans that want to talk a little Titans or want to listen to a little Titans talk. Bring them on in here. Let's have a good day. Austin, let's get the week started right and get the show on the road.
The episode officially welcoming to A to Z Sports, powered as always by the BetMGM app. I'm Austin Stanley. He is Jack Gentry. We are Nashville's on-demand sports talk network, going live weekday mornings at 8 Central Time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Links to the show segment by segment on our Twitter X timeline. Also hit us up on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads for more great Titans content. Got to thank our sponsors because they make it happen for us, and they help out all of you, like Wilson County Hyundai. Make them a part of your new car buying process. See them in Lebanon or online at wilsoncountyhyundai.com. The Bone and Joint Institute, boneandjointtn.org, the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care, and Farm Bureau Health Plans. Get better with Farm Bureau Health Plans, and visit our link to get a quote today at fbhp.com/ATOZ. Happy June, everybody. It's crazy. It is already June. We're already in the 6th month of the year 2024. And this is a big week because Titans mandatory minicamp starts tomorrow. So 3 consecutive days of Titans media availability. So that means Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I'll be at Titans practice delivering content, which means Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday shows will be packed full of all types of content with what we've seen at minicamp. And this is mandatory minicamp. So does this mean we get to see Big Jeff Simmons for the first time this week and some other players that have not been out there for whatever reason? Harold Landry has not been visibly seen at Titans practice, and neither has L'Jarius Sneed, some other guys that might be rehabbing injuries as well. So mandatory minicamp coming up starting tomorrow on the practice field. So we'll have tons of coverage from that all across our social media. But Jack, we start off this week on an interesting note because honestly, when I got up this morning, I wasn't exactly sure what Jack and I were going to be talking about today. And so start doing my thing, scanning the internet, seeing what I can find. And what do I find? I find that somebody that published an article on a Tennessee Titans outlet website saying that the Tennessee Titans could go after Dak Prescott in 2025. Let's just take a look at a couple of graphics I have here, Jack. I sent you this article right after I found it. I was like, well, here's what we're doing today. Could the Titans sign Cowboys Dak Prescott next year? And the summary says, the Tennessee Titans don't have a solidified quarterback plan, but maybe next offseason could bring one along. This is from Jeremy Brenner, who is writing for All Titans, a part of the SI Sports Illustrated Fan Nation group. And he continues with a couple blurbs. And as of now, Prescott doesn't have an extension lined up, which could spell the end of his tenure with the Cowboys. And then a quote from ESPN.com. While the Cowboys have been criticized for waiting to get a deal done with Prescott, has shown patience. It's worked for the Signal Cardinal in 2021 when he signed a 4-year, $160 million deal, and it could work again. Getting something done before the season starts would be preferable for the Cowboys, but the final deadline is early March of 2025, and it continues. Without a deal done before the 2025 league year, Prescott will count $40.5 million against the cap and will likely be headed to a new team, following the path of Kirk Cousins through this offseason. Now, Jeremy Brenner continues and says, if Prescott is a free agent and Levis's struggles continue, the Titans could be a landing spot for the Cowboys quarterback. The Titans are one of the soundest teams financially in the NFL and have a desire to want to compete sooner rather than later. Adding Prescott instead of playing it out with Levis or drafting a rookie would certainly fast track the team's path to the playoffs, and the Titans should be at least looking at the possibility if the Cowboys are ready to move on. So, Jack, there is a lot there. And there is a lot there that tells me that this person, Jeremy Brenner, has not been covering the Tennessee Titans for very long. And really, the sentence under the headline, the Tennessee Titans don't have a solidified quarterback plan, tells me enough of what this person, I think, knows about the Titans organization and how they feel about Will Levis as the quarterback. So your initial reactions and takeaways from this article at All Titans SI Fan Nation. So what are you thinking here?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of came out of nowhere, right? I don't think I've seen this anywhere yet. And for Dak Prescott, and we're talking about a guy, by the way, who finished first in the NFL in touchdown passes last season, second in QBR, third in yards. Those dudes don't come cheap. I mean, hell, we just saw Jared Goff cash in on a 4-year deal with an AAV of $53 million. So Dak Prescott, while he only counts for 40.5 next year against the cap, if he has another year like he did this year, he could be in for an extension no matter where he ends up. And I'm not so sure that that's in the Titans' budget. I mean, we've heard Brian Callahan talk this offseason about how he appreciates the fact that Will Levis is on a rookie deal. I mean, look how aggressive Rand Carthon was this offseason and going out and getting impact players in free agency. L'Jarius Sneed through a trade. Chidobe Awuzie, Lloyd Cushenberry, Calvin Ridley. You got D-Hop last offseason. So, and you still got holes, by the way. There's still some cracks in this roster. It can't be fixed in one offseason, but when you go out and pay a guy like Dak Prescott, $40 million, whatever it might end up being, you really limit yourself in what you can do and how you can fix some new issues that might crop up this season with a completely new roster and a completely new scheme with 2 new coordinators. It's confusing to me where this take came from. Like in the past, when the Titans have been connected to some of these top quarterbacks, like they've had links on the team or in the front office, right? Like the Brady thing with John Robinson and Mike Vrabel. Okay, it makes sense. Peyton Manning in college, played at Tennessee. There aren't any like the closest connection to Dak Prescott the Titans have right now is Tony Pollard, who hasn't taken a snap yet for the Titans. So that's not strong enough for me to take this seriously. And the money side of this thing is just too big of a hurdle for me to jump over in terms of trying to figure out how Dak Prescott fits here in Tennessee. And plus, if Dak Prescott does go somewhere else, that means the Cowboys are done with him. And after a season like he had last year, and he's poised to have another big one this year with CeeDee Lamb, emerging as one of the top receivers in the league. Plenty of weapons down there in Dallas. Great offensive line. Like, who says the Cowboys would ever want to get rid of that guy? I mean, he's turning 31 in July, so I don't see any reason for the Cowboys to move on from him, especially if he keeps playing the way he has been playing.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers to this. One, I don't think the Cowboys are going to let Dak Prescott walk. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they will get a deal done. It might take until the last minute, but that's what I think will actually happen. Ed says $40 million is cheap for a quarterback. You're not wrong, Ed. And that's kind of what Dak Prescott's future could look like for the Cowboys. I think it's ridiculous. And so we're going to get more into this article. Again, here's the article, Jeremy Brenner of All Titans on the SI Foundation platform. The Tennessee Titans don't have a solidified quarterback plan, but maybe next offseason can bring one along, citing Dak Prescott's contract situation with an ESPN.com quote from this offseason. And then Brenner says, if Prescott is a free agent and Levis's struggles continue, the Titans could become a landing spot for the Cowboys quarterback. So let's get into this because I think there's a lot of opinions here on this article. And we're going to ask you guys, what's one word to describe the ridiculous take of Dak Prescott replacing Will Levis in 2025? So what is one word to describe this ridiculous take of Dak Prescott potentially replacing Will Levis in 2025? We'll get to all of your one word. So get that vocab hot and ready here on this Monday morning. But first, let me tell you guys about the Bone and Joint Institute, boneandjointtn.org. They are the region's destination for comprehensive orthopedic and sports medicine care. Whenever you get hurt in life, you have to know who to turn to, where you can go, and who you can trust to get back on to the healthy path and living your life the way that you want to live it. And the Bone and Joint Institute can do that for you. They're doing that with me. I've had another physical therapy session this past week with my patella tendonitis, getting better already. I honestly can feel a difference just being in there twice in the last couple of weeks, going in twice this week to make sure I get back to doing that so I can do all the type of exercises and not be limited in daily life as well. So check them out online and book an appointment. It's so easy in Franklin and across Williamson County, boneandjointtn.org.
BetMGM.com, guys. There's a ton of stuff going on right now. We've got the field set for the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. The NBA Finals get going this week. College baseball regionals, big games today across the board. Tons of stuff to get in the game with. Do it with BetMGM. And when you sign up, new users, you can plug in our bonus code A to Z Sports and get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet misses. So if you're going to get in the game, if you want to switch sports books, or you just want to sign up somewhere, do it with BetMGM and plug in that bonus code A to Z Sports, and you'll get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet misses.
All right, here on the show this Monday, A to Z Sports, make sure you lock in and like the show. Lock in and like the show. King VC has a super chat out there to tell everybody, like the show, lock in this morning. I do have some breaking news, Jack, for the NFL. I'm not sure if you've seen this yet or not over the last few minutes, but the Minnesota Vikings and all-pro wide receiver Justin Jefferson have a new deal to reset the wide receiver market and have made him the NFL's highest paid non-quarterback. 4-year extension worth $140 million. That's an average of 35 per year, and $110 million is guaranteed.
Worth every penny is what that is.
That is $110 million guaranteed over 4 years, 35 per in total. So that is wild. So congrats to Justin Jefferson's family and agent for winning the lottery and having that guy be the best receiver in the NFL and having it time out perfectly. Jamar Chase, congratulations to you as well, sir, because LSU boys about to make a bunch of money here. But anyway, back to
with that deal, like, I mean, obviously Calvin Ridley is not Justin Jefferson or nowhere really close to him because nobody is really that close to what Justin Jefferson is. But with all these new wide receiver deals, and I wrote a story about this last week, every one of these new wide receiver deals, Calvin Ridley's deal looks sweeter and sweeter.
Yes.
And everybody jumped on the Titans for signing Ridley to that deal, thought it was an overpay. But what happens when you sign a receiver early in free agency is the next crop of dudes, I mean, they're only going to go above that number. And with each new contract, Calvin Ridley's deal continues to look better. It's aging beautifully for the Titans. So anybody and everybody who like to dump on the Titans for giving Ridley that money, I mean, they don't look as good now. It's
Crazy.
it's funny how the NFL world works, especially in free agency.
Yeah, so I believe that makes Calvin Ridley the 14th highest paid receiver in the NFL now, after Justin Jefferson gets paid. Somebody also mentions CeeDee Lamb is about to cash in. Titans Cal says that. So you got a couple other ones coming too. All right, so let's get back to our question. The question is, what's one word to describe the ridiculous take of Dak Prescott replacing Will Levis in 2025? This is the article from All Titans on the Fan Nation SI platform. The Tennessee Titans don't have a solidified quarterback plan, but maybe next offseason could bring one along, writes Jeremy Brenner, and then says, if Prescott's a free agent and Levis's struggles continue, the Titans could become a landing spot for the Cowboys quarterback. So, Jack, I'll send you to the chat. What's these one words that you're finding? You're going to have to skip through the wows and the oh my gosh and crazy for like the Justin Jefferson contract news there. But one word to describe the ridiculousness of this take of Dak Prescott being a Titan in 2025. So go ahead.
Well, how about we kick things off on Facebook today with Albert, who says delusional. We got laughter, pathetic, boredom, uneducated, typical, trash, never, booty, ignorant. Jeff Rubel is going full heel, says plausible. Not really. But John says no, dumb, absurd, boring from MB. Darius says asinine. Hill, back-to-back comments, asinine. What are the odds? Pointless from Darren. Dumb, uneducated, stupid, insane, idiotic, disaster, confused, clickbait, silly. Frazier-like from Nate's burner. Dumb, entertaining, BS, lazy, erroneous, no, inconceivable. So a lot of Titans fans are just outraged here, as John puts it, that this is even, being considered. Austin, I think my one word, though, like a lot of these are pretty insulting. I'm gonna go with lost. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm just gonna say I feel like he's lost. I don't know how new he is, like you mentioned, but this is not in the realm of possibility. Look, and I talked about the Dak Prescott side of this thing. Let's talk about the Will Levis side of this thing first.
Yeah.
Or now, I should say. Like, we don't know for sure if Will Levis is the face of the franchise moving forward, right? Like, this is what this season is for Will Levis. He's got to prove that he's that dude worth, spending a couple years on a rookie deal and then hopefully, earning that bag here in a couple years once he really gets it going, as the face of the franchise for the Titans at quarterback and hopefully the quarterback for many years to come. But he's got to prove that this year. So Will Levis not panning out, I mean, Titans fans aren't going to like it. I'm a huge Will Levis guy, but I mean, I got to be honest, like it's in the realm of possibility. Like, Will Levis has not yet done enough to lock that job up for the foreseeable future, right? He's done enough to hold it down for this season for sure. And hopefully he takes a big step this year, which I think he will do under Brian Callahan with a new group of weapons, with a much better offensive line. Like, the stars are aligned for Will Levis to have a monster season and prove a lot of people wrong this year. But he hasn't done that yet. So the jury is still out on Will Levis as the future of the franchise for the Tennessee Titans. But just with all the stuff I mentioned with Dak Prescott and why would the Cowboys want to let one of those dudes walk? I mean, we talk about how aggressive Ran Carthon has been this offseason. Mm-hmm. The Cowboys have kind of sat on their hands because they feel good about what they have. And Dak Prescott's a major reason for that. So I think that this take is just a little bit lost, in my opinion. So that's going to be my one word here.
All right, so that's a good one. I liked several comments here. Darren says, I changed my word to trolling. Luman says clickbait is a good one. Hats off to that one. And Chad says dumb, just wanting clicks. And then Bill Ray says egregious. I think all of those are absolutely correct, which is why my one word is reckless. This is reckless. This is somebody that knows what they're doing. Like, they're not that ignorant. They cannot be that ignorant to write about the Tennessee Titans. And I did my homework on this. I looked up Jeremy Brenner. And Jack, we were on the phone when I did this. I scrolled back. He started writing for the All Titans site on the SI platform on May 13th. That was his first published article on the All Titans site. So less than a month. But he's done about 40 or 50 articles, which means he's just taking that spaghetti and throwing it all over the wall. all over the wall. He doesn't care what it is. This is reckless. This is stupid. This is why people have the term clickbait, because there is very little, if not zero, possibility of Dak Prescott being a Tennessee Titans quarterback in 2025. Why? Because one, Dak Prescott's going to get more than $45, maybe $50 million per year next year. The Tennessee Titans just set up this team around Will Levis because he's making $9 million over 4 total years. Like, they are taking advantage of a cheap rookie contract. So what is this doing? Darren, you're right. It's trolling. This is absolutely clickbait. This is reckless. It's not ignorant. I can't look at the Jeremy Brenner guy and say, you know what you're doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's taking the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott, two of the biggest names that generate buzz and attention and impressions and clicks across the NFL, and putting them into the Tennessee Titans ecosystem. And this is why I don't like it. I hate stuff like this. It's an abomination. It's embarrassing. And it's an attack on people that are trying to do good stuff. Welcome to June. This was technically published on May 31st, but this is the type of trash that gives our industry a bad reputation in the summer. It's that this guy is saying that Dak Prescott could be a Titan in 2025. It is completely out of his rear end. There is no basis for this, because everything that's been said is about how they believe in Will Levis and they are building this football team around Will Levis.
Yeah, and you mentioned that 45 to 50 number. Like, Goff just got 53. And I think if you polled all 32 teams in the NFL, it'd be unanimous that they'd rather have Dak Prescott than Jared Goff. And, I understand the playoff struggles, but, Dak Prescott is a premier quarter. He's flirting with the top 5, when it comes to the best quarterbacks in the NFL. So it doesn't make sense. And for the Titans, man, that would be an all-in move if the Titans had come up short in the playoffs a couple times due to bad quarterback play. But they've kind of turned a new leaf with Will Levis. They're not ready to go for the jugular yet. They're not ready to make that final move to bring that Lombardi Trophy back to Broadway, or to Broadway for the first time. Like, they're not at that spot yet to where they should even consider a move like this. Like, you got to figure it out. Let it play itself out first couple of years with the Will Levis. Make sure you know what you have before you make a decision like this. Because what if you bring Dak Prescott in and you essentially cast Will Levis to the side? While Will Levis hasn't really done anything, worthy to be cast as, like, he showed flashes. Don't get me wrong. There were some frustrating parts of last season, but a lot of that wasn't his fault. Like, giving up on Will Levis this early is a little bit foolish considering the ceiling that he appears to have. He comes in against Atlanta, throws 4 touchdowns in his NFL debut, comes back against Miami with, down 14 with just a couple minutes left on the clock. And that was a Miami team that was rolling at the time, by the way, on the road in prime time. Like, Will Levis has done enough to earn a fair shot to become the future of this franchise. And I think a lot of Titans fans feel really good about it. I'm one of them. But going all in and bringing Dak Prescott to Nashville, that just feels like a move you make after a couple of failed playoff runs and you're really stagnant at quarterback. Like, Will Levis is only going here. I don't feel like he's going to plateau, in his first year as a full-time starter, right? He's got a lot of room to grow. And the Titans owe it to themselves to see it out, because what happens if he makes that big jump? Well, then you've got a really talented quarterback on a rookie deal for a couple more years. Dak Prescott's great and all, but if you can get top 15 play out of Will Levis and have all that extra $40-50 million extra dollars to spend on weapons or guys on defense or offensive line, you're cooking with gas, and that's what the Titans are in position to do.
For sure. So I also don't think the Titans, let's just play a hypothetical game. Let's say Will Levis does flame out, and after his 3rd year, the Titans are looking for somebody else. I don't think a veteran is the way they would go. I think they would draft a young player again. So I don't even think that a veteran quarterback that you're going to have to pay over $50 million a year is going to be something in the cards. I think you're looking around the league and you're seeing teams have success with drafting young quarterbacks. And if it doesn't work out in 3 years, drafting another one and moving on from the other first guy. So, I don't see the Titans going the Ryan Tannehill way or the Kirk Cousins way. Hell, the Falcons even signed Kirk Cousins to a crazy deal and then drafted a young quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that shows you everything about this. So I actually have a follow-up question to this, because there's two things about this that I find extra dumb. One is the comment, the Tennessee Titans don't have a solidified quarterback plan. And then there's the comment on the right side in yellow, if Prescott's a free agent and Levis's struggles continue. So I want to ask, what's more wrong? What is worse in this? Is it the Titans? Is it Levis's struggles continue?
Yeah.
Or the Titans don't have a solidified quarterback plan? What is worse and more wrong in this situation? Because I think both of those things are objectively inaccurate, but which is worse? The Titans don't have a plan at quarterback, or Will Levis's struggles continue? But first, let me tell everybody about our great friends at Farm Bureau Health Plans. They will be the safety net for you and your family, regardless of your situation. FBHP.com/ATOZ is the website link to go get a quote today. They can help you out. They've been doing it with Tennesseans for over 75 years and truly are a remarkable asset and resource for Tennesseans to make sure that they have the health coverage across the board that they need in their life stage, in their situation. Whether you're an independent contractor, an entrepreneur, maybe you're single out there by yourself, fighting against the world, taking it all on, Farm Bureau Health Plans can be a teammate with that battle. Maybe you've got a young and growing family with your spouse, and you want that extra strong level of coverage, or maybe you're empty nested with your spouse and the kids are out of the house, they're out of college, and you're trying to figure out, all right, we need that next level as we get deeper into life. Farm Bureau Health Plans has always been great there. They've been helping Tennesseans out for over 77 years. They can do that for you, just like they have for Zach Bingham and others with A to Z Sports. So check out our link today at FBHP.com/ATOZ.
BetMGM.com new users, if you're looking to sign up and get some skin in the game, or you're looking to switch sports books in general, BetMGM is the place for you. They've got parlay selection features, boosted odds specials, live betting options that are second to none, and it's all easy to navigate. So if you're new to the game, you're going to be able to figure it out pretty quickly. Sign up using our bonus code A to Z Sports, and you'll get an extra $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet misses too. So great deal going on right now for new users at BetMGM. Take advantage and plug in that bonus code ATOZ Sports.
Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 or older. Tennessee only new customer offer. All promotions, subject qualifications, eligible requirements. First online room money wager. Only rewards issued in eligible bonus bets. Bonus bets expire in 7 days. From issuance and for problem game of sport, call Tennessee Redline 800-889-9789. Jack, I'll have you go to the chat asking which is a worse, more incorrect statement. The Titans don't have a solidified quarterback plan, or the comment of will Levis's struggles continue? If Levis's struggles continue, which is worse here from Jeremy Brenner on this All Titans article here?
Jameson believes it's the first statement. Levis did struggle at times. Now, John disagrees. He thinks that Levis' struggles continue was the more outrageous. Scott agrees. Rashid says it's dumb and dumber. I love that. Let's see. Where did Levis struggle? Roy asks. Levis' struggles continue is a worse take. That's what Tiffany says. Jameson comes back and he says, not really Levis's fault that he struggled, but he did struggle at times. What is worse is the whole article. Let's see. Not having a plan at quarterback is effing offensive, says Darren Lee. Levis's struggles continue. Like he hasn't struggled at all. Both are misinformed. The second comment is dumb. The first one is dumber. Small sample. Both are dumb. Levis's struggles. Kenneth says they have a plan. Levis just needs to take a step forward, and that's where I want to pause this. And hello, ladies, it's kind of the same thing. Levis didn't struggle. The team just sucked. Look, Levis did struggle at times. Was that his fault? Some of it was, some of it wasn't. I mean, but if you're going to judge a quarterback off his first 9 starts in the NFL, then Peyton Manning would have been shipped off to Canada. Like, we got to be serious here. Give Will Levis some time. And while the Titans don't have a firm, like, I guess, this coaching staff believes in Will Levis, right? But yeah. I think they still want to see a little bit more out of him. Because if you don't believe in Will Levis, why go out and grab D-Hop? Why go out and find Calvin Ridley? Why bring Tyler Boyd in? I mean, so they clearly believe in him.
Why hire Brian Callahan?
Exactly. So they've clearly invested around Will Levis. So I think they believe in him. While their plan isn't solidified, I think their plan is solidified because it's let Will Levis cook this year and kind of go from there, right? Play it by ear. Let Will Levis decide what your quarterback plan is this season. But Levis's struggles continue is probably where I'm going to go here. Like, Will Levis had to try and be the hero just about every single throw last year. He knew he didn't have much help. He knew that offensive line was going to break down in a second and a half. He didn't have a lot of time, and his quick release helps him. But so many of his mistakes last year were him trying to save the day and win the game in one throw. That's going to be coached out of him from Brian Callahan. His inaccuracy issues, Will Levis, I think, had a 58% completion percentage last year. Well, let's look at Brian Callahan. What do you do with Jake Browning? 71%. Jake Browning led the league in completion percentage last year. I'm not worried about the inaccuracy stuff. That's going to be fixed with scheme. Will Levis's struggles were not all Will Levis's fault. And I'm going to sound like a Will Levis defender, and everyone's going to say that I'm caping for Will Levis, but because I am. I mean, Will Levis showed me enough in a small sample size to where I feel very comfortable with him leading this team this season. And I mean, like, if he has a good season, if he even has an above average season, I feel like the Titans are going to be in a really good spot with him next year. So Will Levis's struggles continues the more egregious statement, in my opinion.
Okay, that's fair. They're both egregious. I think the first one's more egregious. The Titans don't have a quarterback plan. Like, that's just so dumb. Like, that is trolling and not paying attention, one or the other. It's either a really dumb troll or a really dumb comment. I don't know what's worse. And so here, this is why we know the Titans have a solidified quarterback plan, and this is Brian Callahan on the Athletics Football Show just a few weeks ago.
I think a lot of people from the outside took the aggressiveness you guys had this offseason, the way you spent in free agency, the L'Jarius Sneed trade is another example. It's kind of a sign of confidence in Will Levis and what he can be in year two. When you went back and you watched his rookie year, what did you kind of glob onto when you're trying to find those moments of optimism from what you saw from him?
All of that is true. I mean, we feel like we have added really high-end pieces at positions that we needed it. And we have a team that I think is going to be competitive. And a lot of that has to do with what I saw from Will, what the organization saw from Will in his time as a starter. And the things that you see in Will are the things that you want to see in your quarterback. He's tough. He plays with a ton of passion. It's important to him. He wants to be good. And then you add in the physical part of it, which is he's athletic, he's strong, he can throw it as good as anybody. And you saw the flashes of his ability, all the same things that when he was coming out that got highlighted in the draft as a potential top pick. And for whatever reason, thank God they did. He slides and he's here in Tennessee with me. And I love everything he's about. And I think he's got real talent and he has a real ability to be a high level quarterback in the NFL. And those things are the things that I'm excited about.
I mean, that's pretty clear as day from the head coach, Brian Callahan, and Robert Mays, the Athletic, who started that clip by saying, a lot of people from the outside view you spending the most money in free agency as confidence and belief in young quarterback Will Levis. Well, apparently, Jeremy Brenner from the outside does not believe that at all. So I do want to tag something here because, again, we've been showing this article quite a bit from All Titans Fan Nation on the SI platform. The Titans don't have a solidified quarterback plan, but maybe Dak Prescott could come along next offseason. If he's a free agent and Will Levis's struggles continue, the Titans could become a landing spot for the Cowboys quarterback. I'll point your attention to the very bottom right, highlighted in blue. Make sure to bookmark All Titans for the latest news, exclusive interviews, film breakdowns, and so much more. Maybe don't do that because this is not a very well done article. This is not the best information for Tennessee Titans coverage. This is, in fact, an abomination of Titans coverage by All Titans and Jeremy Brenner on the All Titans platform. So maybe don't bookmark that site because I don't know what you're going to get. Are you going to get stuff that's going to blow smoke up your, you know what? Or are you going to get really good things that are actually accurate? I don't know. Based on that, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, and the thing is, you could make an excuse that he hadn't been on the beat long in less than a month, but
no, but there are people in place to not allow that to happen.
No, I understand, but the thing is, even if that's true, which it might be, over the last month, Brian Callahan has probably raved more about Will Levis than we've ever heard before. I mean, whether it was Brian Callahan saying, if Will Levis was in this draft class, I'd take him before any of these quarterbacks. he doubles down, triples down, quadruples down every time he gets the opportunity to talk about Will Levis.
Who did Brian Callahan tell that to?
Albert
Breer
Breer
of Sports Illustrated.
Illustrated.
It's almost like they share a domain.
Mhm.
My goodness, it's like on their platform. And I know how Fan Nation operates. I've been behind that curtain. I know how Fan Nation operates. And that's very much so when Albert Breer of SI National has a chance to get an exclusive interview with Brian Callahan and Will Levis, then you're sure as hell all Titans is going to promote the heck out of that thing because it's just going to help everybody. I know the business. I know behind that curtain. And this is just bad. It's just a bad troll job.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say he succeeded though, because it has us talking about it for a show, and maybe more people going to click it because Dak Prescott's in the headlines, Titans quarterback Will Levis, all this. But I mean, that's the goal, right? That's the goal for the writers: get more clicks, more views to his site. What's good for the goose is good for the gander in that situation. So, look, while I think it's total BS, I still am really excited about Brian Callahan's excitement when it comes to Will Levis. So, if Brian Callahan was a little mum on Levis, maybe I'd get it. But man, he has been Will Levis's professional hype man since he came to Nashville.
Yeah, without a doubt. Let's see another super chat coming in here. King VC answers the question of, I say, which is worse, the comment about no quarterback plan or Will Levis's struggles? And VC says Levis's struggle by far, because what struggles are we talking about? And I think, both of us were on different sides of this thing of, I think it's saying they don't have a quarterback plan is so bad. And then you saying that, talking about his struggles, like it was his fault the Titans went 6-11. And the guy was a rookie quarterback thrown behind the worst offensive line in the NFL. The left tackle position gave up 29 sacks alone last season. And he had DeAndre Hopkins and nobody else to consistently throw to on the outside. And and then the defense would break because the offense was broken. And
that's not all, because he had the most predictable play caller in the NFL in his ear. The defense knew what was coming before anybody else did. Will Levis was set up to fail last season.
Without a doubt. So it's so bad. And this morning I was like, do I need to do the show on this? Because this is so stupid, but I felt the need to have this topic because of something that you and I talked about on Friday, Jack. And it was this tweet. T. Higgins is playing in the tag for the Bengals. D-Hop isn't holding out. Enjoy summer break without falling for the lame accounts, analysts, and media members who are desperate for attention and content. And the weekend goes by. This article that we've been talking about for 35 minutes today came out the same day after we talked about this on the show. This tweet from F Words Pod, that's correct, where you and I talked about when is the least dramatic offseason in Titans history since when. And all of a sudden, some guy goes and tries to stir up stuff out of nowhere that has no weight or carries no type of any real consequence or realistic opportunity. It's just stupid. So a reminder that there will be people that try to do dumb things in media, that try to stir up that DeAndre Hopkins missed OTAs and he's unhappy with his 1 year left on his contract. Instead, he was talking to 50 recruits at On Three's Elite Series in the Gulch and talking about self-worth and how you set up your career. And he missed OTAs for a day. Like, good Lord.
Man, we need these 3 days this week more than we ever have. I mean, some of the stuff that's been coming out lately and that's been getting discussed it's pure off-season BS. And I'm ready to have some real substance to react to, if you can call it that, in minicamp. So,
oh yeah, we're gonna get stuff. We're gonna get real things here on Tuesday, Wednesday, and on Thursday. So we've got 3 straight days of mandatory minicamp coming up after today. So we got tomorrow's show to get through, and then we've got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday shows to react to these practices. So we're going to go ahead and get to our Monday age game, Jack. Now, this is new for you. You are not an age game veteran. Is this your first ever age game?
This is my first one. Let's do this thing.
All right, it is now time for the age game. But real quick, let me tell you guys all about our friends at Wilson County Hyundai, wilsoncountyhyundai.com. is where to go to make them a part of your new car buying process. Go see them in Lebanon or check them out online at wilsoncountyhyundai.com. Make sure you go see our guy Payne Bone right there, wilsoncountyhyundai.com. So, Jack, first things first, you need to hide the chat.
Okay.
Hide the chat.
All right, chat. I'm going to miss you guys, but let's see here. All right, chat's hidden.
All right. So I'm going to ask you, just because this is Jack's first time playing the game, I'm going to ask you how old somebody is. And I've got a loose connection-ish to this person of what's happened in the news over the weekends. And that is what the age game typically goes by. So the first person in the chat that gets it correctly, as Eric says, he's right, be quick, but don't hurry. You got to be quick, but you can't hurry. And I see the YouTube and the Facebook and Twitch comments come in order. So, Jack, you have the chat hidden, correct?
Yeah, I get one guess, right?
You get one guess.
Okay.
And you have to be dead on. That's it. And you don't have to race against the chat. You're playing your own game. So it's okay. You can win and the chat can win too. So, over the weekend, the WNBA has a lot of drama because you've got Caitlin Clark, creating stuff and headlines and attention. And then you've got other people body checking Caitlin Clark. And so because the WNBA is in the news, I want you, Jack, to tell me how old is Diana Taurasi, former UConn star?
She's a bucket.
WNBA star.
Diana Taurasi.
She's won a bunch of an Olympics. So how old is Diana Taurasi?
Man, she's been around for a minute. I'm thinking between 35 and 39, somewhere in that range.
I don't want to hear.
I know, I'm just explaining my thought process. Okay. I'm gonna go with 37 years old.
37.
I think Taurasi's 37.
That's your final answer.
My final answer.
Okay, 37 is Jack's final answer. Oh, a lot of comments flying. This first, see, I usually don't get to look at the chat when they come in because I'm usually in Jack's spot here. All right, how old is Diana Taurasi? Jonathan, my goodness, 56. She is not 56 years old. That is so way high. Stephen King says 38. Jerome says 37.
Somewhere in there.
Moan says 42. Koss says 39. Ashley says 48. LC has 39. We actually have a lot of people that have gotten this correct. Just Smash is incorrect at 42, but we had a run on 41s, and Randy was the first correct answer of 41. And Randy was the fourth overall answer. But Randy was able to beat out with 41s. He beat out Bork. He beat out Alex. He beat out Poypool. There was some 41s there that were racing for it, but congratulations to Randy. He will go on the age game board. I don't have the graphic because Zach makes the graphic, but I will text Zach right now. I will tell him that Randy goes on the board. So I'm texting Jack, Randy Lugent on the age game big board. Yes, in all caps, because that's how we do it right there. So congratulations to Randy. Quick on the trigger for the age game today. Very, very nice. Very, very nice.
41's been surprising. Those ladies, they play longer than the men over there on that side. There's some durability in the women's game. And by the way, the Caitlin Clark stuff, everybody's upset that she's getting, I love Caitlin Clark. She's very fun to watch. It's good for the game. The beef is good for the game. It's exciting.
Great. It is. It's nobody, I don't know the last time that the WNBA has created such buzz. Mm-hmm. And also the fact of what's her name? Kennedy that checked
Chandler.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I think Kennedy.
No, Kennedy Chandler.
Or was that a point guard for Tennessee?
Point guard for Tennessee from Memphis.
I forget what her last name is because it's the first time I heard of her. But pretty tough foul. And you know what's going to be crazy is when the Fever
Kennedy Carter.
That's right. What's going to be crazy is when the Fever come in last in the WNBA again, and take Paige Becker's number 1. And then you got Paigey Buckets and Caitlin Clark on the same team with Aaliyah Boston. I mean, come on now.
Because they are a bad team. Like, because the Fever are not good. And so, but the thing about Carter is that she's been cut or kicked off multiple teams for contract detrimental to the team. She was drafted by the Atlanta. I read this. She was drafted by the Atlanta WNBA franchise, and then within her second year, kicked off the team because of attempting or threatening to fight a teammate in the locker room. And then she was overseas for a year because she got kicked off of a second in a WNBA team. And so, yeah, her playing in her 7th game or whatever it is in the WNBA this year and creating all of this nonsense by hip checking Caitlin Clark. I think Kennedy Carter's got some underlying issues that's creating all that.
Draymond Green in her game.
Yes, she is the WNBA Draymond Green. That's exactly correct. All right, that'll do it for us on this Monday. A little short show today. Not too much to talk about, but the week will get heat up because we've got mandatory minicamp coming throughout the week. So make sure you hit that like button, please, on the show. Like the show before you go. Please do it for us. That goes a long way for us. So hit that like button, and we will see you guys tomorrow on a Tuesday. Appreciate it as always. Buck Rising Live tonight at 7 p.m. Central for prime time. Thanks, guys.